Coming up, the soap opera drama that has been the New Jersey Devils of late has a plot twist as the Devils end their tough road trip with a resounding win.
Welcome to the Devil's Island Podcast, broadcasting from the east end of Long Island. Whether you're in New Jersey or somewhere around the world, as a Devils fan, you may feel like a castaway. Well, Devils fanatics, join us, because you can always feel at home here on Devil's Island. And now, here is your host, Chris Suswal.
Hey, fellow castaways, you're on Devil's Island. If you enjoy your stay, please like, share, and subscribe to stay in the mix. Well, we haven't done this in a while. Recapping a Devils victory on the road in Minnesota. It was billed as the Hughes Bowl. The brothers, Quinn, Jack, and Luke, they've only played against each other, I think, a handful of times. And this time, Jack and Luke come out on top. And this one was especially sweet for a number of reasons. The first being the Devils have been terrible of late. They can't seem to buy a goal, and when they do score goals, they wind up letting goals up like they did in Winnipeg against one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. And the Devils this time had a lot of puck luck, and not to mention all the turmoil that's been discussed with Dougie Hamilton, the GM Tom Fitzgerald, the coach Sheldon Keefe on the hot seat, and the Devils come away with a win, much needed in this hunt for staying in the playoffs. If you look around the league, especially in the Metro Division, the Rangers lost tonight, the Flyers lost tonight, and all these teams are going to continue to be bunched up, and the Devils need to stay in this race and stay relevant. And it's my pleasure to give you some details on the Devils. Scoring first. They almost never score first, but Dawson Mercer gets them on the board in the first period, and the Devils looked like they were hungry. They were winning puck battles, and they were playing much better defensively. And they end the period staying up 1-0, and all of a sudden it looks like maybe the Devils can eke out this win on the road. But by the second period, the Devils were getting hemmed in their own zone. And at one point, it looked like Minnesota was on a power play, even though it was still 5-on-5 play. The Devils were tired, trying to clear the puck. Cody Glass had the puck from behind the net, tries to get it out. It's stolen away. It's passed back to the slot. And at this point, the Devils players were really tired. I think they were out there for a minute plus, maybe a minute and a half with multiple chances coming towards Jacob Markstrom, who was back in net after Jake Allen had gotten the start 2 games in a row. And Markstrom did have a good game, but he did let up a tying goal. It wound up off the slot. Ryan Hartman got credit for the goal, but it did bounce off Cody Glass in front. And there you have it. It's tied 1-1. And you start thinking, wow, the Devils, they're out shooting. They've had chances. They didn't score on the power play. And is this just another game where the formula just equals a loss? But we head to the third period, and Andre Palat gets the puck from Nico Hischier. Hischier goes behind the net, carries the puck in front. Everybody thinks that Hischier's just going to make a backhand towards the goal, but instead goes backdoor to Palat, and Palat bangs it home with only a few seconds left in the period, 8 seconds left in the period. And wow, what a huge goal. Palat was celebrating as if this was a playoff game. And I think to a lot of the Devils players, it probably felt like a playoff game. The Devils know that if they keep falling further in the standings, the rest of the season is just going to be for naught. So with this win, the Devils can come home, and we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule soon. But we get to the third period, and the Devils score 3 goals, I think, in a span of about 2 minutes. And it was an offensive explosion. Bratt started it off with Dougie Hamilton back in the lineup. Nemitz gets the scratch. And with all the talk with Dougie Hamilton, his agent coming out saying that basically that Hamilton's being forced out with the initial healthy scratch the other day, getting forced out to possibly waive a no trade clause and expand the number of teams that he'd be willing to trade to. Another insider, Elliot Friedman, came out with a report that Hamilton had nixed a trade with the San Jose Sharks over the summer. And so this drama continued with Hamilton coming back in the lineup. He actually gets 2 assists on the night, and he has a nice pass in front. Brett bangs it home, and the Devils were now up 3-1. But there was still a lot of time left on the clock. But the Devils kept the pressure up, and Palat gets a second goal. No, Brett got 2 goals in a row. They were both with primary assists from Dougie Hamilton, and it was really nice to see. You could see the Devils were basically all smiles. And after that, that's when Palat gets his second of the night, and it was celebration time. The Devils needed this win. The Devils fans needed this win, and it was really just such a good feeling. I'm sure the coaches and the players feel a little bit of a weight off their back. I mean, it's just been, you look at any of the interviews, it's just been question after question. Why can't they get the job done? What are they doing to make adjustments? And now that the Devils have had some reinforcements with Kovacevic, now has 2 games under his belt after missing the entire season so far, coming back from his surgery. And with these reinforcements, and maybe the Devils can get a push here as they come back home. Also, Jack Hughes looked like a little bit more of himself. He didn't score tonight, but he did have 3 shots on net. So did his brother Luke. The Devils were buzzing at times and basically outshot the Wild by a wide margin. Late in the third, Minnesota did get a power play goal, which was inconsequential. The Devils were well on their way to a win at that point. But with the game stats, the Devils ended up with 29 shots on goal to the Wild's 22. They won the face-off battle. As I mentioned, they didn't score a power play, but they only had 2 penalties on the night. And they let in hits. They let in block shots. The Wild had more giveaways than the Devils, but the Devils did have 3 takeaways compared to the Wild's 4 takeaways. So overall, I mean, this is the type of win that this team looked desperate, similar to how they looked after the Islanders debacle, losing 9-0, going into Pittsburgh. The Devils looked desperate in that first period, and that's how the Devils basically played all night. The Devils did get some puck luck with the Wild missing some open nets when they did have some attack and pressure, but the Devils stuck way more to the structure than they have in recent games, and it's really encouraging to see. So coming up, Seattle, who tonight beat the Rangers 4-2, scoring 4 unanswered goals at the Garden. The Devils will play them on Wednesday at the Rock, and after that, Carolina comes back to town. Carolina, when they defeated the Devils and Luke Hughes was basically booed off the ice the entire game, even though it was a close game, the Devils fans were taking out their frustration. Carolina comes back, and if the Devils can get these 2 wins coming up, maybe they can really just go on a heater. Regardless, with Carolina coming in, it's really just an opportunity for the Devils to get some redemption, especially at home. So fellow castaways, until next time, keep your fire burning. Let's go Devils.